those that were not working hard, not succeeding. So this was part of this whole strategy. And, of course, again, the vehicle was the CO2. And, by the way, the carbon credits is very interesting because that idea originally with the IPCC, they were trying to get the Kyoto through. The U.S., and as you recall this, 95-0, the U.S. Senate voted against it. When Al Gore was the vice president, it was 95-0 against.
When the inventor of the Internet was vice president.
Yeah, and well, he should have got on the Internet and inveigled some more votes. But the Europeans... The Europeans with Strong and Sir John Houghton, who was the head of the UK Met Office and so on, these people trying to get the Americans on board said, look, what can we do to make this attractive to you? And the U.S. came back and said, look, give us some credit for the carbon we're taking out of the atmosphere. Because one of the things that you don't hear much about, Alex, is that, yeah, we produce about 7.5 gigatons of CO2 a year, but we remove 50% of that through agriculture and forestry.
But I don't like that either. I mean, I've talked to a lot of other climatologists and biologists that have done the studies on plants. Isn't a carbon dioxide rich atmosphere better for overall life cycle, carbon cycle on the planet? And aren't we at a very low point according to the research?
Oh, yeah, we're at 385 parts per million, which is the lowest level in 600 million years. And one of the things that's interesting that confirms this, Sherwood Itso and his son Craig have done an enormous amount of research on putting plants into enriched CO2 atmospheres. And they found that almost all plants function better at between 1,000 and 1,200 parts per million. In other words, 3 times what they currently are getting. So you could legitimately argue that plants are malnourished. But what's more important, Alex, is that if you look at the last 300 million years, the average level of CO2 in the atmosphere has been around 1,000 to 1,200 parts per million. And some commercial operations, greenhouses, are taking advantage of that by pumping that level into their greenhouse and getting 4 times the yield on their plants. So,
but hold on, doctor. It doesn't kill the plants. It's now a toxic nerve gas, the news says. Oh, my God, they breathe it? Stay with us.
Millions of Americans are beginning to realize the enormity of the economic and political problems facing the U.S. and the world. And for the first time in their lives, they are feeling the need for preparedness. Ready Reserve Foods has been in continuous operation, manufacturing the finest and dehydrated foods for almost 40 years. Ready Reserve is the manufacturer. Unlike other companies that just broker canned foods, Ready Reserve controls the quality from start to finish with double enameled cans and nitrogen packaging. When purchasing from Ready Reserve Foods, you are buying factory direct at wholesale prices. Other companies are quoting delivery times of 1 to 2 months, while Ready Reserve ships within 5 business days. Many companies do not even offer a catalog. We will be more than happy to send a catalog to you free of charge. Dial 1-800-453-2202, 1-800-453-2202, or visit our website at ReadyReserveFoods.com. Factory direct, wholesale pricing from Ready Reserve Foods. Call us at 1-800-453-2202.
In the New World Order's war against humanity, Barack Obama is the tip of the spear.
We've got to give them a stake in creating the kind of world order that I think all of us would like to see.
The Obama deception completely destroys the myth that Obama is working for the best interest of the American people.
Well, Obama's already fudging. He's fudged since day one in this election.
If you have a demagogue with a fanatical mass movement of personality cultists who is imposing the program of a group of extreme bankers and finance oligarchs, that's fascism.
It's not about left or right. It's about a one-world government. This film documents who Obama works for, the lies he has told, and his real agenda. Get your copy of The Obama Deception today at Infowars.com or download it in super high quality at PrisonPlanet.tv. The Obama Deception. The people strike back.
Heart-related health problems affect millions of people each year. Maybe you're one of the many who suffer from issues related to angina pain, high blood pressure, congestive heart failure, unbalanced cholesterol, irregular heartbeat, or clogged arteries. There is a solution that doesn't involve expensive prescription drugs that only mask the problem and leave you with horrible side effects. If you are ready to live your life free of sickness, pain, and fear, live your life with increased vitality, energy, and youthfulness, and experience your body healing itself, then you're ready for Heart and Body Extract from Healthy Hearts Club. Heart and Body Extract has a 23-year proven track record of using certified organic herbs that make up an excellent formula to balance and support the heart and circulatory system. In as little as 2 weeks, you can feel amazing results when your 2-month supply of Heart and Body Extract today. Call 1-866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
He's going for speed. She's all alone in her time of need. Because he's racing and pacing and plotting the course. He's fighting and biting and riding on his horse. He's going the distance.
You know, I've interviewed a lot of climatologists, a lot of scientists, but I got to say Dr. Ball is the most informed, most on target I've seen. Just absolutely amazing. Dr. Ball, are there any websites people should visit to read all your great writings and research?
Well, there's two that I contribute to on a regular basis. One is CanadaFreePress.com. That's all one word. And if they go to, I just had an article in there on Monday. My articles usually appear on Monday, and they have a columnist archive that they can tap into, and there's about 35 articles on there.
Fantastic.
Then, the other site that I contribute to, and the group I helped set up that you mentioned in the promo, was friendsofscience.org.
Absolutely, friendsofscience.org.
Yeah, that one focuses on the science. The Canada Free Press is a mix of the science and the political implications.
Well, I mean, we've proven the scientific case because it's I mean, really elementary. Or at least it seems as a layman compared to a lot of other scientific questions. Yeah. I mean, we know plants breathe carbon dioxide, and we know during the break you were mentioning world food supply. Maurice Strong also says, and Kissinger says, shut down world food supply, and that's also part of what this whole greenhouse gas tax is about.
Well, yeah, there's no question about that, and you, as I mentioned earlier, with the biofuels, you see how marginal we are, and one of the things that everybody forgets is that, and I've got a quote that I made up a long time ago, there are no farms in the cities, but there's no cities without farms, and if you ignore the agricultural base, that's the base of any economy. And
well, instead, they're taking that over with the Animal ID, Premises ID from Australia to Canada to the U.S. They are SWAT teaming Amish for selling milk, SWAT teaming egg sellers. I mean, they're really squeezing, and these environmental green brigades are just showing, and I'm not bashing folks with ponytails and Birkenstocks, but now they got sidearms, and they're showing up on farms and ranches and going, look, and they're basically communist.
Yeah. Well, organic is all very nice, and there's a niche market for that. But if we went totally organic, you'd have to cut every forest in the world down to grow the amount of food we're currently producing. And I'm trying to think of the guy, Dennis Avery, a wonderful book called Saving the Planet with Plastics and Pesticides. And he's saying, if they really wanted to save these ecologies and environments they're talking about, we should increase the yields on the land we're currently farming. And we could do that very easily. I mean, we look at the increase of corn yields over the last little while. Now, there are some side effects, no question, but we can monitor those and take care of those. But to just shut it all down is certainly not a solution at all, but that gives you ultimate control, I guess.
Well, the problem is the big agribusinesses own their areas, and they don't leave the land fallow. But you drive around the United States and the world, there's farm areas not being used everywhere.
Well, and that was one of the problems I had with George W. Bush's policies, agricultural policies, where people were buying farms simply to get the government subsidies. It was a better investment than going into the stock market. And that was the fallow land where they were being paid not to grow them, and it's just insanity. And of course, they don't want stockpiling of food at all, because that they lose control that way. But no, I think the agricultural base is a very important part of this, and that's why I mean, we talk about paying people to sequester CO2. Well, the farmers are already doing it. Why aren't they getting a subsidy for the 50% of CO2 they're taking out of the atmosphere?
Well, there's some environmental global warming wackos that think trees are producing CO2, and so they're bad. Do 5 more minutes with us, Doc, because I want you to be able to finish your